And how I got founded in cosplay is by Danny Chu. Are you guys familiar with Danny Chu? So Kotobukiya actually saw some of my pictures. I used to be super against taking pictures when I was like 22. I was like, no, I'm never gonna do a photo shoot. I hate pictures. And then my friend was like, come on, take some pictures. Your costumes are awesome. And I'm like, sure, I guess. So we met at a Street Fighter event, and he didn't know how to take pictures, and I didn't know how to model. So it was really terrible. And I had to learn, I had to go on Model Mayhem and study how models posed. I was really bad. But my first photo shoots were Morgan, the ones that you see online, Array and all that. Those were my first photo shoots, believe it or not. And then Kotobukiya founded me, and I immediately started working for Capcom as their jury cosplayer. So that's how I started. And yeah, I want to go with like questions that you guys have, like anything really. Even armor making, I can talk about that, or sewing, or advice about getting into, I guess, like, I don't know, like photo shoot stuff. I can ask them anything. Yes? Okay. I hate that name. Okay, no, we're just kidding. So, I've always been called Vampy ever since it was really weird. I was obsessed with vampires. So I like anything fantasy. It doesn't show in my costume, it doesn't show in my photo shoots anymore. But I used to only do vampire-esque photo shoots. You can't find them online, I don't think, anymore, because I just deleted all of them because they're really bad. So I used to have like blood all over, just really crazy stuff, like not even cute or sexy or anything. It was just bad. But I liked it, and I didn't care. So back in the MySpace days. So then I saw that you could buy Bit Me online. So I was like, oh, instead of just Vampy, I'll put Bit Me. Isn't that funny? So I thought that was hilarious back then. And then it blew up, and I was like, no. Now they're gonna know me as Vampy Bit Me. I can't be called Linda anymore. So it just stuck ever since then, and it's not like I hate it, but then it's a little bit weird. It's like, what is a Vampy Bit Me? You know? What is that? But then that was my website. So that's how it came about. Okay. Any other questions? Anything. I don't really care. Like, anything. Yes, Deadpool. How did I make it? Okay. I've been cosplaying for like 17 years, so I literally did not know what the hell I was doing. But I learned about materials. The first thing about costuming, and I know some of you guys cosplay, obviously, you know, and dabble in that, but learning about your materials is number one. You cannot make anything without learning how to use your materials. Like a lot of people just buy Warbler, for example. I'm gonna buy Warbler, I'm gonna be this like armored woman, like tomorrow. Yeah, that's cool, but it depends on what kind of like armored like lady you want to be or guy, right? A lot of times I notice that when I use materials like Warbler, it's bumpy. And it's expensive. So I started researching other things I could make armor out of. So I started researching things like Sintra. Have you guys heard of Sintra? It's a plastic. I know, I'm gonna get real nerdy on you. It's like corrugated. It's like a plastic that you can like bend. It's signboard. Yes, you're using Sintra? That's what Sintra looks like. And it's hard to cut, right? It's hard as hell to cut. And you want to like throw things.
This sucker will stop a knife.
Yeah, that's true. Because I had to cut the Gundam out of X-Acto. So I spent 18 hours a day. Oh, thank you. I spent 18 hours a day and to debut that costume. And that was supposed to be for Anime Expo, but I couldn't finish it in time because I was doing everything by myself. So I made that costume out of Sintra, mainly Sintra, and foam. So that took a godly amount of time. And it's now in pieces. Like literally putting it in a storage unit, it just made it like crack and everything. So it's kind of not cool anymore. So, but I loved it. I wore it once, so that was good enough for me. Yeah. Any more questions, you guys? Yes. Metal? Oh, like you're talking. Oh, metalworking. Oh well, I had to take classes for that. Yeah, welding, TIG welding, and like, oh god, that was only 3 months though. I only took 3 months of that, and I can't really make costumes out of the metal because it's too heavy. Which I learned that you cannot wear something. My Nightwing is made out of steel. The chest plate is steel. The arms are Sintra, and the shoulders are actually carbon fiber. But I started learning that number one is expensive. Number two, I mean, no one's really gonna punch me in that that costume. Why am I carrying it around? It's so heavy. So I definitely don't recommend using too much metal pieces because it might hurt people. When I hugged all of you, I think I've hugged all of you. I don't know, most of you, and I kept on like hurting people wearing that costume. So I definitely recommend not using metal for costume work. Yeah. Yes.
What's your favorite story of past like cosplay events or Comic-Cons?
Oh yeah. Well, my first big event was San Diego Comic-Con 2009, and I actually got to meet Stan Lee in my White Phoenix costume, and that was a highlight for me because I was like, I get to meet Stan Lee, and now it's like he's everywhere. In like California, he's at every con. So, but then back then it was really special for me, and actually meeting Jim Lee in my Psylocke was very special to me too, because I dedicated that costume to him, but then he turned DC, and I was like, oh. And I was like, okay, I guess that's why you're not talking to me. But yeah, that was my special moment. It's very simple. I'm just like all you guys, like meeting your favorite artists, you know? I just geek out the same. I stand in line, you know, my palms are sweaty, and I'm just like, oh my god, you know, I freak out. So those are my favorite memories, actually meeting the artists that create these characters that I, you know, make costumes for. And I pretty much make costumes because I love what they do. It's the art, you know? Cosplay is art, and what they do is art as well. So it's, yeah, pretty much like every artist. I mean, there's this one girl that I follow that I'm deathly afraid of because I love her so much. She's a toy designer. Her name is Junko Mizuno. She designs for Kid Robot as well. And I can't even stand in line because I'm so afraid of her because she's so amazing. So that's how geeky I get. So yeah. Did I hear someone say something? Yes.
You said you used to like vampires and you still like fantasy.
Yeah.
So you said you used to like vampires and fantasy. Has your taste changed since then? And
Yes.
Give an example of one of your like favorite genres or shows or
Okay. Okay, this is bad to say, but I'm sorry for Twilight fans, but ever since Twilight came out, the little vampire Linda, I literally was like, I don't care about vampires anymore. Like literally, it wasn't. You know, when your favorite band that you followed since like junior high becomes huge, and you're like, no, you feel like you own them, but you don't. And you're like, why did you get so big? It's kind of like that. I'm like, vampires were cool, but then now they're just everybody. You know, I went to Target. You know, I saw these toys, and I'm like, no. And I haven't even watched any Twilight. I just heard they sparkle, and that's all I need to know. So I was like, nope. What I'm into is still the same. I love anything 70s. Kind of like, I'm really retro. I generally dress like you guys, like black t-shirt, shorts. I'm kind of, you know, Vans, whatever. But in cosplay, I like to dress in like things that you know, of course it's a fantasy thing. It's like, oh, you know, pink. I don't like pink, but I'll wear it if this is the character, you know? So I generally like things from the 70s. So if you see a lot of my costumes, they're like all, you know, Jessica Jones and stuff, and I love Gatchaman, and, you know, I like Ranma. Those are my favorite. I like anything retro, like cheesy. I was born in the 80s, so I'm a big cheese ball. So yeah. Any other questions about? Yes.